I'm going to start with a guy that's not liked by most Guardians fans, since we just talked about the Guardians. That'd be Tim Anderson. And last year, this is where the fight with Jose Ramirez, who's probably the most liked athlete in all of Cleveland sports, or if he's not one, he's number two. So I'm going to start with him. Then we're going to switch to football. I had some people online say some stuff. Last night I posted who has the most punchable face. One of the guys that's coming up, or Mason Rudolph. More people picked Mason Rudolph, surprisingly, but Mason Rudolph, pretty unlikable guy, even though he doesn't even play for the Steelers
now, these
anymore.
Your picks,
these
or
are my
overall.
These are just mine. So these are just mine. I would love to know what other people think, because, like I said, I had a list of 4, and then I took some other thoughts that other people had and added it to my list. So Mason Rudolph was definitely in my top Mount Rushmore, I guess you could say, of current, and I just put it out there, current athletes, because if you go back, there's John Elway, like you said, there's there's a whole bunch of others. So a lot of people didn't like Michael Jordan, because he was so good. I was on the other side where I love Michael Jordan unless he was playing against the Cavs, kind of thing. So Mason Rudolph definitely won. The next guy, Minkah Fitzpatrick, and here's why. One, I think this guy is a dirty player. He's very good. I give him that. He was a former first-round pick of the Dolphins that went to Pittsburgh. But this is the guy who took out Nick Chubb's knee this past year. And, that's not the only play. You can go find some other plays. And then this next guy wasn't on my radar until a couple of people pointed it out. One person even sent me a video of this next guy twisting Joe Bitonio's knee. And he's one of the best defensive players in the league, TJ Watt. But to me, those are the Pittsburgh Steelers on my list. I didn't have any Baltimore Ravens. I didn't have any Cincinnati Bengals on my list. But those were my top football guys on my list. Thoughts on those guys?
So not on those guys specifically, but I only really got mad at one player this last year, and I can remember looking and scowling at the TV, and that's that Minshew guy.
Oh,
and
yeah,
his stupid little dance. Dipshit Minshew was all cocky, right? Coming off the bench, lighting it up. Then he started having a bad game, and all that dancing disappeared because he's a dipshit. And you need to stop celebrating. Be a noble guy. Win the game. Stop that stupid cocky.
Okay. Okay. So Joe, not a big fan of Gardner Minshew, who will play this year again. He is now, I believe, the quarterback of the Las Vegas Raiders. So
I'll hate him then too.
We'll see him
I'll
this
always
year.
Remember you.
Here's another guy who a lot of people hate in Cleveland, Draymond Green, and for various reasons. I think a lot of people on that are Golden State fans are starting to hate this guy because he kind of derailed their season, getting in fights and doing stupid shit all season long. So he is definitely one on my list. Another basketball player, Kelly Olynyk, and this goes back to 2015 for me, because I think if this guy doesn't, and this is when he was playing for the Boston Celtics, if he is the one that locked up Kevin Love's arm and ripped it out of the socket, and Kevin Love missed the rest of the playoffs, and then we all know the Cavs made it to the NBA Finals. Kyrie Irving gets hurt in that game 1. The Cavs still go up 2-1 against Golden State, but LeBron had to do everything. No Kevin Love, no Kyrie Irving, and no Kevin Love. Kevin Love would have been a great outside shooter in that series, good rebounder, and that really hurt the Cavs. And I think the Cavs, if they had that second top level player at the time, you got to think Kevin Love in 2015 was still in his peak. So Kelly Olynyk makes my shit list here. And then another one, this is the man of the moment, Franz Wagner. And there's a couple reasons.
Wagner, come on, you ain't fancy. You're Wagner.
Wagner, yeah. What is he? He's Beethoven's next in line there with the. I mean, I will say him and his brother. His brother plays on the Orlando Magic as well as him. He has Maurice or Mo Wagner. He goes by, but Franz, and then that dirty stash he's got. And I might have taken it a little too far when I made a comment like, this guy looks like he's from 1940s Germany yesterday. And just maybe insinuating something, but he's probably not that bad of a guy. But
he's got that Addams family thing. If he had the pinstripe suit, that's him.
Yes. Yeah. And just to me, he's very unlikable. He complains about every call. He's a little bit of a cheap shotter. And the Cavs, I will say, because they got a little bit bullied by the New York Knicks last year, lost in the first round of the playoffs. They came out this year and they set the tone. They were the more physical team. And then Franz Wagner, whatever you want to call him, comes out. I can't remember the exact play. I think he bumped Darius Garland or one of the players. And then Isaac Okoro and another player ended up, kind of give him a little bit of cheap shot later in the game. And good on them, because playoffs, you have to establish the more physical team generally wins. And Franz Wagner has just become one of my least liked athletes. And that's the cool thing about NBA playoffs, because during the season, you play 3 or 4 games against these teams a year. If they're a Western Conference team, you play them twice, but you don't really see these guys a whole lot. But now in the playoffs, you're going to see them 4 straight games or 5 straight games or 6 or up to 7 straight games. You really can develop a dislike for some of these players. And Wagner is right up there at the top for me.